Okay, good morning. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here, Yeshiva Samanapshi, here in Yerushalayim, Kodesh. We're located in the Hanukah Yisir's Beit Knesset on Rehov Zichur Yaakov number 6. We're close to the central bus station here in Yerushalayim, so you can walk, bus, drive, and if you're coming from Chutz La'aretz, please join us in our shirim when you fly into Eretz Yisrael. We're learning Pirkei Avos, the first year in the morning today. We're continuing with the first Mishnah, the first parak. Moshe Kibul Torah Messinai, Mosra the Yeshua. The Yeshua is a Kenim, Ravim. Ravim Mosra La'anshe Knesset HaGadolim. We're learning about the subtopic, continuing on. We'll finish up today on the subtopic, I imagine, about the general understood rule that a Chacham is Aidif Minavi. I have it here on Himat this one. Take this sheet here. Take the, you see you have the two sides. The one that starts with the Talmud Bavli, Masekes Baba Basra.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have there. You want to read that first part there? That first line, Amar Ameimar. That's a Gemara in Baba Basra. Daf Yud Beis Amar Aleph.
Amar,
Ameimar.
V'chuchom adif menave.
Right. V'chacham Aidif Minavi. A chacham, a sage, a wise person, has more advantages than a prophet. And brings a pasuk. We won't go into the pasuk.
Shnei Amar v'navi levev chachama mai nesala bami.
Right. Me nitla b'mi, meaning the pasuk. There's a pasuk in Tehillim where that the pasuk is saying that the Navi will function with a lave, a heart of wisdom. Yeah. So it means part of the capability that the prophet has is through wisdom, right? So that means wisdom. Morning. Wisdom is more advantageous than prophecy. Okay. Now, as we saw, the Marsha, if you take a look at the next Makor, and it says, how come
this is a new member?
all
We got a new guy.
He's back with us. Baruch Hashem.
Hey, buddy. Everything okay? Getting there. Thank you.
Here am I. Just reviewing, because Matt's been away for a few, longer than a few days, so we're just reviewing. We'll finish this topic up today. Okay, so we're just reviewing again the Mishnah, the Gemara, Chacham is Adif Navi, and if you take a look at the second Makor, we were just reviewing this on the first side of the page with the Marsha. There we said that again it's Hachi Ka'omer. Well, you can read the next one, Matisyahu. See, it says Chacham Adif Navi Vadai. You have that part there, Matisyahu? It's the after the second line. Right.
Okay. V'chacham odif menavi. P.
That's Vadai. Vov Daled Vadai.
Yes, Pirish. Not mine.
On which?
On the wrong side. Racham?
Chacham Adif Navi. That's
Oh,
the
one up. The one up from that.
Ah.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
The second
got
one, I
it.
apologize.
No problem.
Vadai dechol navi etc.
Gomke.
That's
Also.
Also, okay.
Gam Kain. That's an abbreviation. Gam Kain. Also.
Chacham hu Allah dis
The Hachi Ka'omer.
Dahahi dema'alos hasachama adifi menivua.
Okay, that's it. That's all we need right now. Okay, so it says that Vadai called Navi Gam Kain Chacham, meaning anyone who was a real prophet had to be a Chacham, had to be a sage, wise in all the ways and understandings of Torah. That's one of the prerequisites of becoming a prophet. Okay? So then what does it mean that a Chacham is Adif Minavi? Can't mean what it means Pashut Kamashmo in the simple literal translation of the words. Ela Hachikama, this is what the Gemara means to tell us. The Mailis HaChachma Adifa Minavua, that the advantages of wisdom are greater than the advantages of prophecy.
What you translate Adif? It's not quite the right translation, but you might translate Adif as almost as a precursor. Because you need the wisdom before you get the prophecy, so it's
right. That's definitely true. There's no question about that. That's the whole status of the Bryce of Rabbi Pinkas Pingar, Torah wisdom, and all those things that were taught throughout. So that's definitely true. But here it's a little bit deeper than it. It's that because the Gemara is trying to teach us now how are we supposed to relate to this? Okay, meaning that there's no prophecy bisman hazeh. That's number one, right? Hacham, to be on a Hacham that you have that approaches prophecy after you want a great, tremendous level. There's no question of us. How does it relate to us, right? So we want to understand the cheshivus of the Chacham, meaning those special individuals that we have in each and every generation. We have to realize how important they are to us, meaning they're even more important than a prophet, right? We'll see that again. Let's jump down to we'll review the Chazon Ish that we saw. That's the very last paragraph of this first page. Amram, you want to read that Chazon Ish there? That's it starts with Bir Pam Rabbeinu. Rabbeinu, you have it there, Mrs. Yahoo?
Yes.
Rabbeinu is, I believe, a reference to the Chazon Ish. He's going to explain. The Chazon Ish is not going to explain what does it mean. Right, Chazon Ish is going to explain. So, what does it mean? Chacham Adif Minavi.
שאמרו חכמים מנהגי, ואמר, הנה הנביא מקבל דבר השם, אחת לזמן ומוסר לישראל. The Navi receives a word from Hashem one time, and to give over to Musar to Israel. Ko amar Hashem, so says Hashem, kach v'kach. Ve'ilo hachacham nechol.
So let's just make a point here. So just to review. So the prophet receives a message from a Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? And his job is to relay that message to Klal Yisrael. He says, Ko amar Hashem, so says the Kadosh Baruch Hu, kach v'kach v'kach. He's going to say that if you don't do tshuva, there's going to be a korban beis hamikdash. So you better do tshuva, right? And so he's talking about what Kadosh Baruch Hu wants from us, and he's telling about the future, right? So those were things necessary Kadosh Baruch Hu wanted to communicate to his people, Am Yisrael. And sometimes, as I said yesterday, even you'll have a prophet who'll be given a tafkid, a purpose, a mission to speak to the non-Jews as well. Yonah, we all know the prophecy of Yonah was given to him to go to speak to Nineveh, a non-Jewish city in Chutz La'aretz, and he was given his message to give over to the people of Nineveh that they should do tshuva, otherwise they'd be destroyed. And so they did do tshuva temporarily.
That's a very dangerous thing, that Navi.
Yeah, in what way? What even?
Big time.
Well,
I just got up and he spoke to me.
Yes.
He started telling me his stories.
yes.
The guy opens my book, he knows his stuff. I see it, he knows his stuff.
Okay, good.
Navi, it's mamash,
Okay, so obviously, people had to be accepted as
That's
Nevi'im, right?
right.
But he has a point, because who says it's Hashem told you? You ask the Navi back. Who says Hashem told you, right? So, and they had Nevi Sheker. There were those people in Nevi Sheker, and they had a certain ruach, a certain evilness to them that allowed them to have certain powers. That Hashem allowed them to have certain powers. Sometimes deliberately to deceive people, or challenge people, or test people, right? But it's true when you see a chacham. He knows what he knows, and you can trust him based on his knowledge. But on the prophet, what right do we have to trust the Navi?
How do we know the Eliyahu Navi? That's him.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to go up on the mountain Motzei Shabbos. That's what you mean, right? It's not a joke.
You won't be the first, you won't be the last.
No, it's not a joke.
We're not worried about it.
When the time comes,
Greater people than you thought they were, and they weren't. Look but we have the remembrance of about Korach among the other ones that we have in generation.
Right. Okay.
So I can't accept it.
we ask for Eliyahu Navi to come. We don't ask for Chacham to come.
Okay. So because he's going to come with the Besur Tova, he's going to be given he'll come and announce that he has heard, he knows from HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we have 3 days before Mashiach came. He's going to know. Now, the Ramchal explains, based on Gemorahs and Chazal, that when a prophet was given a certain prophecy, this might be an answer to your question. How do we know that and trust the Navi that he's telling me what he's saying is true? All the other prophets of his generation also received the exact same prophecy. However, they knew that they were not the one to say it. Meaning, you get a prophecy, and you know that, well, this is something I know, but it's not what I'm supposed to say. But there was one prophet among them that knew that this was he was supposed to say. But you're right. What Yirmiyah, right? Yirmiyah, who was prophesying at the end of the time of the destruction of the first base in Mikdash. So he was accused, right, by those who were loyal to the king, of ruining the morale of the people. He was saying, if you don't do tshuva, there's going to be a korban of bias. So the people said to the king, this prophet here is ruining the morale of the people. You shouldn't be talking that way. You should say everything's good, everything's fine, we'll be Hatzlach, we'll fight them, we'll be victorious. That's what you're talking. You're talking about losing the war. You don't talk about losing the war. They threw him in a slime pit. They threw him and he was about to die. If his nephew didn't come and pull him out of it. And it wasn't an easy job being a prophet. And just because you had a prophet doesn't mean you're walking around with you think I think prophets like the sheriff out in the Wild West. He's wearing the badge, got the gun, and he's gonna show everybody what's gonna be. Even the sheriffs got shot out in those days. They weren't I was told that the sheriffs had a rough time, right? That because there's a federal marshal. And they're trying to keep law and order in the Wild West out there in America, in the old days, 150 years ago. So what did the sheriff do? The sheriff was told, there were guns, gunmen in the city. Everyone carried a gun. So he said, go to the best gunman in the city and tell him, I'm going to make you the deputy. You're going to get a paid job. You're going to be the deputy, right? So everyone was afraid of the biggest, toughest gunman in town. So that's the way they kept order, right? So you see, it's not easy to keep order. And so the prophets, Lahavdil, they had a tough job. It was a very tough job. But everyone, when it was real prophecy, everyone knew that the prophecy was true. Okay, but it's true. By a chacham, you understand. There's such a pasuk, Nikarim Divrei Emes, words of truth, ring true. Right? You understand that something's true if it's really true. So let's continue with the Chazon Ish's explanation. So the Navi had a certain mission to give a certain message over to Klal Yisrael, and he would do that. Me'ilo Chacham
was a Chacham. B'chol yom v'yom, b'chol shah v'shah, b'oratav sheposek, b'atzmotav shenoten. Every day and every hour, he's paskening shilas, I guess, and he's putting all himself into it.
But Eitzos is his advice.
Giving advice.
Right. So in his legal decisions, right, his Torah legal decisions, and his advice that he's giving, right, he's giving over, right.
Musar le'mishcharim v'yiftacho. Musar to open up.
Mostly, he's transferring. He's
passing over what he learned. Ko amar Hashem, so said Hashem. Ko amar Hashem, ha'of kasher, so said Hashem, the bird is kosher. Ko amar Hashem, ha'mazik chayav, the one who made damage is chayav. Ko amar Hashem, avak ribitihu.
It's the taste of ribis.
It's like ribis derabbanan. It's ribis derabbanan. It's not ribis katsutza is ribis deraisa. Ribis avikaris is ribis derabbanan, meaning lending with interest. It's ribis to lend with interest. So there are some things which are issa deraisa, and some things that are issa derabbanan. You're not able to do the midrabbanan. So therefore, that says where we have to go into in the Chazon Ish here. So Chazon Ish is explaining as follows, meaning the Navi had a singular or perhaps limited message that he had to give to Klal Yisrael that was supposed to be given in a specific time, right? However, the Chacham, his advantage is he's giving the message of HaKadosh Baruch Hu over to people all the time. Whenever that message is needed, there's this question about whether this chicken had proper shechita or not, was slaughtered properly. So he'll paskin the shiloh whether it's kosher or it's not kosher. So that's the same. That's Kor Amar Hashem. Hashem is saying through the psak halacha decision of the Talmud Chacham the Pesach, he's poskening that the chicken is kosher, and that's like a Kadosh Baruch Kiviyoko is saying that the chicken is kosher as well. He's saying that this person's chayiv in damages, he's putter in damages, he's obligated to pay, he's not obligated to pay. That's Ki'ilu, that's like a Kadosh Baruch who's saying this person is obligated, this person is not obligated. That's so he's carrying the message of Kadosh Baruch Hu at any time, at any moment, in any place. Whereas the prophet is limited in what he can transfer over to Klal Yisrael. So therefore, a prophet who's also a chacham can also paskin shilas. But if he wants to paskin that a chicken is kosher, he can't say, I have a prophecy that the chicken is kosher. He has to look into the halach, he has to examine the bird, and he has to understand from the Metzias the way the bird appears to him, and as he understands the halach, he has to paskin from chacham. He can't paskin from the vur. So that's another way of understanding the advantage of a chacham over a navi. Okay, so now, and that brings us to the other topic we want to discuss now. We were talking about lo b'shamayim. We can't paskin halachas, right, based on prophecy. Okay, there are many different examples we can bring, but we have here, if you look at the middle section of the second page, right, you have the Talmud Bavli Masechtas Tamura. Right, you have the first words gufa. Right there.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Amram, you want to continue? This is a Gemara in Tamura. It's actually in Daf Tes Zayin Amid Aleph. Right? It's going to discuss about Torah being forgotten and how to retrieve it. Okay, let's learn the Gemara a bit, and we'll understand some more about the depth of what's lo b'shamayim. That even a prophet, if he knows something is kosher, he can't come and say that it's kosher based on his prophecy. He has to say it's kosher based on his wisdom, his chachma.
Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shlomo, Shloshet alafim halachot nishkachu b'meh avlo shel Moshe. 3,000 halachos were forgotten during the morning of Moshe.
Right. So after Moshe Rabbeinu was nifter, during the morning time that Klal Yisrael was mourning Moshe Rabbeinu, 3,000 halachos were forgotten.
I'm sorry. How do you have 613 mitzvahs and you're telling me 3,000 laws got forgotten?
Look at the Shulchan Aruch. I mean, I don't understand.
I don't understand
You're learning the Mishnah
I'm
Berurah
not
every
a
day.
smart guy, but I'm 613, 3,000.
Wait a second.
I can't do the math.
Okay, take Pesach, right? Pesach, one mitzvah. There's a whole volume of the Mishnah Berurah alone on Pesach, because even though you have the mitzvah of Pesach, there's a lot of different things you got to do for Pesach.
There's a general mitzvah,
Okay.
you have to eat matzah.
Okay.
But in that general mitzvah, have to eat matzah, there are hundreds of smaller commands. You have to do it this way, you have to do it this way, you have to do this, you have to do that. Those are all commandments that people have to know. You have to watch the wheat, and you have to grind it this way. You can only put this much water in. You have to do that. These are all part of the mitzvah of eating matzah.
And that's halacha? Those are actually laws?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
So,
The mitzvahs of the halachas are two separate things.
right. So when we say we have 613 mitzvahs, those are basically 613 major written in the Torah mitzvahs. Now you have many mitzvahs which are not specifically written in the Torah itself. However, they are peripheral to all those other mitzvahs as well, and they sometimes can be mitzvahs deraisa, meaning the Rambam has a listing of 613 mitzvahs. The Ramban has a listing. Many of the Rishonim have listings, and more or less they're more or less like the same. But there are many mitzvahs which are not included in, like mitzvahs of Emun in the Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? That's not included because that's what we call a mitzvah shabbaklai. It's a general mitzvah, right? So it's many mitzvahs which are relevant and always needing to be fulfilled. They're not referred to as 613 mitzvahs. Now, here you go.
Another example, Shabbos for sure. The mitzvah of not working on Shabbos. The mitzvahs you don't work on Shabbos. We have 39 categories of work that's forbidden. So that's 39 different commandments to fulfill that one mitzvah of not working on Shabbos. Okay, so, and it happens all over the place, but that's like the real one of the real obvious ones.
Okay.
What do you think? Just Because you have 613, that's it.
That's it, right?
No,
Everybody would be forever.
Finished.
Everybody would be forever.
It's like, what's all this Gemara about? There's 600. It's like,
But
come
you
on.
have to, but you have to understand, but they're said
It's
to the
how to
left.
do it.
Right, exactly. They're
That's
said,
how to do it.
they're very general statements, and you need to understand the klum and the details. The details are the command.
The halacha.
But the mitzvahs and the details of how to fulfill each of the commandments. And there's 3,000 is probably a small minute.
3,000 for Shabbos.
This is just minor.
Yeah, we have a mitzvah of tefillin, right? You look at the Mishnah Berurah, there's 8, 9 simonim, chapters on what's involved with tefillin, and then you have Mishnah Berurahs on that, and all of these things are very relevant. Many of them are deraisa, right? So the Torah is actually very brief, right? Very, very brief. Very good example is Shabbos. Shabbos, you have a few statements about Shabbos in all of Torah, and you have 39 malachas, right? And you have each one has a separate
Books on
which are
each
relevant.
one.
And each one is deraisa.
Good question. All right, good.
Okay, let's
So
go
we
back.
like
Gufa.
here?
So we see that 3,000 halachas were forgotten at the time of the mourning period for Moshe Rabbeinu.
Honorable Yeshua, they told to Yeshua, sure, go ask Hashem.
Yeah, go, get them back. Let's get these halachas back. Go ask. Amalei, you said back to them.
Lo b'shamayim, it's not in heaven. Amrulu l'Shmuel, they said to Shmuel, Sha'al, ask, Amar lahem, Ela mitzvot, these are the commandments. Shehen ha'navi b'rashai l'chadesh davar na'ata, that a navi is not allowed to make something new from there on. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, nafcha, af chatat shemato ba'aliyah, nishtacha bimeh alosh shel Moshe. Even the chatat that was put on top.
No, so this is a specific halakha. A chatas, a person, let's say, a person to bring a chatas, a person has to bring a chatas generally for a shogeg, an unintentional avera. Let's say he was mechal Shabbos unintentionally, right? So he has to bring a chatas. At the time we had the basic mikdash, he had to bring a korban chatas. Now let's say the person set aside the animal as a chatas, and then before it was offered on the mizbeach, the owner of that chatas, who needed the kapora, was nifter. He went over emes after a me'aves from shana. So what do you do with the animal now, right? So that what you do with the animal was also forgotten at the time of the mourning period for Moshe Rabbeinu. Okay.
Amru le Pinchas shal. They told Pinchas ask. Amar le lo b'shamayim. It's not
In heaven.
Amar le Eliezer shal. They said ask. Amar lehem ela hamitzvot. These are the commandments. She'en navi rasham lechadesh darmata. That a navi is not allowed to make anything new from then on.
Right. So they asked Yehoshua. Shmuel, we have to understand how Shmuel got involved here, but then we're going back to the Avelos of Moshe. So they asked Pinchas, who was alive at the time. He said Lo b'shamayim. Then they asked Eliezer, who was the Kohen Gadol at the time.
Why did they ask Pinchas, not Eliezer first? Eliezer was a Kohen Gadol at that time.
Kohen Gadol, but Pinchas, yeah, okay. Yeah, right. Good. I mean, you have to dig around. You can dig around and try and find out.
No, just
Might be a reason. Might be a reason. Okay.
Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Rav, B'shah sheniftar Moshe Rabbeinu l'Gan. When the time that Moshe Rabbeinu went to Gan Eden, Amar Yeshua said to Yeshua, She'al mimeni kol steika sheyesh lach. Ask me any question that you have.
Right. Moshe Rabbeinu was about to leave.
That's right.
He was about to leave. So he said to Yeshua, "Listen, this is the last opportunity. In moments, he's going to Gan Eden. So therefore, any sveikas, anything you have any doubts about, now's the time to ask."
Listen, even Moshe Rabbeinu had not Slavchad.
Yeah.
But the din is for Hashem, so he did ask Hashem.
Oh, so that was the mile of Moshe Rabbeinu. Only Moshe Rabbeinu could do that.
And also because it wasn't
That was the Rambam we learned yesterday. Only a Navi or Rishon, only Moshe Rabbeinu had the koyach that he could ask a direct question about halacha from Moshe.
But that also wasn't taught. It wasn't taught that halacha. That's why Moshe had asked.
Also true. Also, it wasn't something that they knew.
They knew because it wasn't taught.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Does that mean that others besides Moshe knew that that was the day he was going to die? It was just
Yeah,
said
yeah.
to
Oh,
Yeshua.
Moshe told everybody. That's why he gave. That's why he have Sefer Devarim.
That's right.
Moshe's talking.
He
He says,
said
I'm,
the day?
The day
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, he says, I'm. You know, I.
He says, go up, go up.
Yeah, Moshe knew. Everybody knew that.
Everybody.
Everybody. That wasn't.
And then
The
they
day
said,
sometimes
it
it was
Be'etzem hayom hazeh, 3 times in the Torah. Be'etzem hayom hazeh.
Sure, got it, thank you.
Again, Amar li Sha'ar meni kos v'kashecha. Amar lo, he says, Rabbi, klum chitich sha'a achad ve'alachti m'kom acher. Did I ever leave you even for 1 hour? Look,
Really, yeah, in this case, like even 1 moment. Kulum, did I ever leave you even for a moment and go somewhere else?
Lo kach katva bi umsharto Yeshua ben Nun. It's not that they wrote it and you passed it on to Yeshua. Nar lo yamish mitoch ha'ol, that a lad has not left a tent.
Meaning, this is a pasuk. Meaning, Yeshua is saying, isn't it even written in the Torah about me that the Misharso Yeshua, that the servant of Moshe Rabbeinu, Yeshua, who was the Nar, no yimush mitoch oil, he never left the oil, he never left the base medrash, never left the tent of meeting where they were learning Torah constantly.
Miyad tashash kocho Yeshua. Immediately, Yeshua's strength went down.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
ונשכחו ממנו 300 halachot. They forgot 300 halachot. ונולדו לו 700 ספקות, and also that 700 questions. ועמדו כל ישראל להרגו, and Bnei Israel were ready to kill him.
Ready to kill it. Okay,
What,
so,
Yeshua?
Yeshua.
Why?
Because he
I
forgot.
forgot things.
Now he's responsible for giving them Torah, right? Moshe Kibbutz Torah Messino and Moshe Yeshua. And if he's not going to give over the Torah, we have to realize something. All the Sforim speak about that a person has a certain tafkid, a certain purpose in this world, right? And if he's not fulfilling his purpose, he really has no business being here. You know, it's in fact the Gemara says in Sanhedrin, right? The Mises Rishoyim, when the Rishoyim die, it's Tov Lehem, it's good for them, and it's Tov Loim, it's good for the world. It's good for them because they're not getting themselves deeper and deeper into trouble, and it's good for the world because they're not causing any trouble anymore, right? So when a person like Esav dies, it's good for Esav, and he's not at least getting himself deeper and deeper into trouble, and it's good for the world. He's not causing trouble for the world, right? So Yeshua had a certain. Excuse me. What?
How did Yeshua forget?
It was
It was a punishment. It was a punishment.
Why?
It was
For
a
his
punishment.
gaiva.
For his gaiva, that's right. He was punished for his gaiva.
Yeah.
Because he said, I don't need it. I don't need it.
I don't have to answer
I
your
have
question.
everything.
Nice.
So it was
Okay.
punished. That's
Yeah.
his punishment.
Right? He could well have thought that. It well could have been true. It's the
That's
way
right. But
the way
he said it.
The way he said it wasn't
That's right.
appropriate. And I should have said, you think you're smarter than I am.
Okay.
What? End of story. You know, you give him a potch.
Yeah. So Agav, by the way, we see even Moshe Rabbeinu. It's that Torah mentions that a few times that he forgot the halacha, and several times when he became angry. Right, that was by Mises Bnei Aaron.
That's right.
Right, and also when he was by Pinchas, by
That's
Cosby.
right.
Right, he forgot the halacha, not because he was angry though, but because he was Nogeya. He had a Negeya. They came against him. Cosby came against us. Look, you have a wife. She's a goy. She was a goya. Of course, it was misguided. This was partial. Of course, it was misguided, and it was poor Matan Torah. Also, that's another story, right? So, you see that Torah and remembering Torah and the koyach to be able to give over Torah is dependent not just on simple knowledge. I mean, if a person's going to have a difficulty with midos, character traits, that's going to interfere if a person's going to be a Baal Gaiva. He's not going to be able to transfer Torah properly. That's the case we see by Yeshua, right? If a person's going to be has anger, even by Moshe Rabbeinu, you know, there's not criticism. Chazal and Torah speaks about this, right? He's going to anger, he's going to forget halachas. If he's going to be Nogeya, he's going to be attached to his own bias, right? He's not going to be able to be a full, absolute, pure conduit for the Torah to reach the other people. So therefore, it's not simply information which is being transferred here. It's something that has to be transferred in the proper way. Mm-hmm. So that's so the halachas were forgotten. Okay, now let's do one more thing. The next to the Hakadushi HaGriz, right, makes a point that if we medayik in the Gemara, there were two answers that were given. Moshe Rabbeinu, when they asked Yeshua to be shoyl, I'm a little b'shamayim, right? When they asked Shmuel, he says, "I'm elu mitzvahs sheina navi the ein rishoy chadish davar." That's two different reasons, right? Now take a look what the Griz, that's the Brisker Rav, it says about this. Lauren, you like to pick over with that? Everyone have their place there. It's the last
Next one.
it's the last paragraph.
Okay. The Gemara Gimel Alafim Halachos Nishtachu B'mei Avelos of Moshe. The Gemara says 3,000 halachos were forgot during the Avelos of Moshe. Amalei Yeshua, they said to Yeshua Sha'al, he said, go ask Hashem for it. Amalei, well, but Shemaim, it's not Shemaim to ask this. Amalei Shmuel, they said to Shmuel Sha'al, go ask Hashem. Amalei Elavitos She'ein Navi Roshai L'Chadash Devar Mata. Because a prophet does not have the ability to mechadish new things.
That one, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ubir based Hatshua, so we have to explain these two answers.
Right, because they're basically two different answers. We will see what the difference is.
To make Korah in the beginning, Shal Yeshua Shechazer es halachas b'nevuah, to get the halachas back from nevuah. The Shal Berura, it's a clear question. Yalzeh Amar lo b'shemaim, and therefore Yeshua back, it's not Shemayim to give the halachas anymore.
Right, so once the halachas were gotten, right, so they asked use nevuah to reclaim the halakha. As it is, just go up to Shemayim and reclaim the halakha. He says, no, Shemayim, you can't use nevuah to get the halakha.
Okay. V'achakach Amar Shmuel, they said to Shmuel, Sha'al, ask him, V'hainu shetha Shetehei b'Torah halacha chadasha, that there would be a new halacha in the Torah.
Meaning, let's make it as if it's going to be a new halakha. Meaning, don't bring back the old halakha. Okay, you can't do that. So let's mechadish it, right? Let's mechadish it as a new halakha.
Shenit mechadish. He gave us a new halacha. Yalzeh Amar, and Shmuel answers on that question. Shein Navi or Shal Chadash, that a Navi does not have permission to institute new things.
Okay, that's good. That's then there's a side point about the Rambam. We won't go into that. Okay, so you see there are two different. Lo b'Shemayim, he is even if the halakha, you simply want to get an answer from Shemayim, right? About is this chicken kosher or not? Right? A halakha that we need to just to know. You can't just simply go to Shemayim and get the answer from Shemayim, right? That's one aspect. The other aspect is if you want a new situation, like let's say that a new situation in halakha.
Tanur Baknoi.
Yeah.
The whole.
That well, I was thinking of bringing that in as well. That put in Hebrew because you could. But again, how far I want to go into follow the streams
right
all the way down.
Ran out of space.
No, there's Lauren's mentioning there was a machlokus, Rabbi Lezer HaGadol, and the Chachamim about a certain tanner that was made of rings of clay, and as to whether or not it was tahor, pure or untor, or not pure, right? So Rabbi Lezer and HaGadol, in order to prove his point that he was correct, right? He said if I'm correct that the walls should cave in and the stream should come through the base measure, and all these things were happening. He said it should happen, and it happened. And but the Chachamim say, well, he was a Das Yochid, a single opinion, and the Rabbim said no. They argued with him, and they said Lo b'Shemayim, and so they put him in Chayrim because of it, because he was overstepping his bounds in trying to pass in the halacha. Right, so that's a whole different. Maybe we could bring it in another time. I was thinking about bringing it down, but
Great story.
Yeah.
And he wasn't so much on the majority. They actually put him in here.
Well,
no, he could be quite on the majority.
There's an argument.
Right.
So what's going on?
Yeah.
And he was reading Furst down. He says, if the halakha is like me, let a baskol come down. If the baskol comes down,
that blows my mind. That blows my
mind.
mind.
Stands over the base and just says, "Lo b'Shemayim he." It's
That's
not
right.
up to
That's
Shemayim
it.
to
It's
pass
over.
silence anymore.
The argument is over.
It's on us to pass silence.
So why am I thinking that I'd learned that after all that was over, he was Muslim?
No, that's a different story.
It's a different
That was the
story.
story of Gamliel when they were
Hey,
having
on Kippur and stuff.
right. They had an
Yeah,
argument
yeah.
about when Rosh Chodesh
Rosh
was,
Hashanah,
when Yom Kippur was.
Yeah.
Okay, and Rabbi Elazar had a different calendar.
Yeah.
And Rabbi Gamliel said, "Come on the day that your day is Yom Kippur.
Your wallet.
Come to me,
Yeah,
carry your
everything.
staff and your wallet."
Got it.
Different story.
Got
Yeah.
it. Thank you.
Mitzvah Shem. Okay, Mitzvah Shem. So we're going to be we will be going back to the Anshe Kesses of the Gedol. Again, this was all trying to understand the Moshe, Yeshua, is a Canaan, that's Chachma. Then to the Nevi'im after that, that's prophecy. And then finally to the Anshe Kesses of the Gedol. So we're going to go back to the Anshe Kesses of the Gedol and we'll continue next week, Mitzvah Shem.